tell you what we're going to be doing. I'm going to give you an overview about Davis and kind of where we're at in our location. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about the support services you have on campus, everything that we have to offer you here at UC Davis. And then we're going to talk about the majors and the things that you should think about pursuing in terms of the professional support we're going to be able to give you here at Davis and once you graduate. And then we're going to hopefully be able to bring in, I have two students that are at UC Davis right now that are from the Valley. They're going to introduce themselves and give you a little bit about their perspective. And if the time permits, I want to give you a profile of the students that we have here in terms of that most likely of the applications we're going to be reviewing and give you some tips on what you might want to include in your personal insight questions. And then we'll open it up for questions. So I'm hoping I can get through all of that very quickly. I wish I was in the Valley with you right now. I love going to the Valley. I started this project of recruiting students from the Valley back in 2003, and we probably had about 20 or 25 students from the Valley. And my goal was that by 2008, we'd have at least 100 students from the Valley. And I'm happy to report that we've exceeded. We have over 100 students from the Valley here at UC Davis. So we bring in about 25 freshmen every single year. We have an excellent graduation rate. Right now, from the class of 2014 and 2015, I believe 100% of those have graduated within 5 years of when they started, which is phenomenal. That means if you're coming from the Valley, you're very well prepared, either coming from high school or from IVC. And so I'm hoping that you guys consider coming to the Valley and everything that we have to offer you guys. And I'm hoping that we really move quickly through this pandemic. If I can bring you up to campus to visit in the spring. If not, we can't wait to see you guys here in the fall. So a little bit about UC Davis. See if I can get my screen to work here. Oh no, here we go, a little slow. So let me tell you about everything that Davis has to offer. Number one, we're number one in the world in veterinary science and agricultural economics and plant and animal programs. So if you want to work with animals, if you want to work as a vet, this is the place to come. You can see the animals on our campus and you can actually smell them on a hot day. Though everybody, we're really known for agriculture and we're known for environmental science. Sorry about that. I've been talking all day long. Most of our students are not actually in agriculture. Most of our students are in letters of science. Our most popular majors are actually sociology, psychology, and economics, which is part of our business major. But we're known throughout the world in terms for veterinary science. We're also number one in the country for women in STEM. So all the young ladies out there that are interested in pursuing a career in STEM, in biology, chemistry, physics, mathematics, engineering, you're going to find a lot of women in STEM in your classes. Most importantly, you're going to find faculty members. You're going to find a lot of our faculty members are women. So it's a rarity to find at a major R1, a research university, but you will find those. So I'm hoping you consider Davis. And it's also a great place if you want to be going into pre-med. We're the third greenest university in the world. You'll be able to see how clean it is and how much we recycle and how smart our buildings are. And we're rated the sixth best public university in the country. And so depending for other reports, we might be ranked number 5. So my computer is a little slow and it does not want me to let me change pages. There we go. So where are we located? We're located by Sacramento. If you've been up to the state capitol, you're only 20 minutes away from UC Davis. So we're very, very close to the Bay Area. We're about an hour and 20 minutes from San Francisco, about an hour from Oakland. We're about an 8 to 9 hour drive from the Valley. So if you want to come from the Valley and drive all the way up, we're about an 8 to 9 hour drive. But we're right next to Sacramento, 2 hours from Lake Tahoe. We're about 6 hours from LA. And so many of our students will fly. It's easy to go to San Diego and fly directly to Sacramento. Our airport's only 18 miles away from the campus. That kind of gives you a context of where we're located. We're right by the state capitol. So those of you who want to go into political science, maybe you can do an internship. It's really easy to do internships at the Capitol. A little bit more about where we're located. As you can see, the Capitol, it's not too far away, but I wanted to show you that picture on the right-hand side. On the bottom, that's actually our medical center and our medical school. So those of you that want to go into medicine, you can see in the background of that picture, downtown Sacramento, and that's our medical school and our medical center. We also have 8 healthcare clinics in the greater Sacramento region. So if you want to go in to be a pre-med student, It's a great place to come because you can actually start volunteering your freshman year. We have about 8 clinics and we rotate about 35 students per quarter. So every clinic will get over 100 students that'll rotate through those clinics every single quarter. So you have a really good chance of being able to do an actual internship and actually put that on your resume that you're actually out there in the medical field. We host a variety of healthcare workshops. We host the largest pre-health conference in the country, and it'll happen in October for our undergraduates. And then next month, I'm actually hosting a conference with some of our doctors from our medical center that you see. And we have about 2 or 3 different workshops. One of them will be for Native American physicians. One will be for Chicano Latino physicians. There's also one for African American physicians. And there's a general one if just about medicine. But at the end of this presentation, I'm going to give you a little QR code. You can get your phone out, have your phone ready, and you can take a picture of that. And it'll take you right to that event, and you could register for the workshop. And you'll be able to come and meet some of our physicians. And they're going to talk about their story and how they became doctors, and also give you some information on how you might be able to pursue a career in medicine. We'll talk about the clinics, and we're also going to talk about just pursuing a career in medicine. And that's for open to all high school students and community college students. It'll be at the latter part of October. I think it's October 28th, but I'll give you the registration for that in a minute. We are, depending on who you look at, we're either the 5th or the 6th best public university in the country. That means who are we looking for? We're looking for the best and the brightest. And all the students that come here from Imperial Valley do extremely well. And there's a whole lot of you on this with me today on this Zoom call. So I know that you are the best and the brightest at your school. So I'm hoping you all have the grades to get in right now immediately from high school. If you want to go to IVC and spend 2 years there, we have a transfer admissions guarantee. You can go to IVC, and as long as you bust a 3.2 GPA in your transferable classes your freshman year, we'll guarantee you admission to UC Davis. Finish your second year with a 3.2, and you can come right to our campus. So here's the picture of our campus. As you can tell, all these trees, there's probably more trees on our campus than there's in the whole city of El Centro or Calexico or Brawley. It's a beautiful place to come. What you see here on the bottom of that picture is our student union, and our student union has actually in the basement of that, you would find a bowling alley. We have a bowling alley, a games area. You're gonna see those pictures in a minute. So the Memorial Union is where our ASUC is. But you can see how beautiful our campus is. And a little bit about our diversity. Our campus is probably for our freshman class will be about 27% Chicano Latino, about 26% Asian, about 28% Asian, about 25% white. And so we have a very, very diverse group of students. We have about 18% of our students will be international students. But if you walk on our campus, you're going to probably find somebody that reflects you. We're about 4% African-American, and we have probably about 500 Native American students. But we're a very diverse campus. That's why I want to share this picture with you. So just think about, almost 25% of our students are Chicano Latino, about 25% of our students are Asian, about 25% are white, and then the other percentage is a mix of international students and other students from other ethnicities. But it's a very diverse, we're hoping that it reflects the state of California soon. Where is Davis? Like I said, it's in Sacramento, but the nice part about our campus, you see in the blue, that's the campus, that's our dorms, that's all of our classrooms. And on the top right, that little block, that's downtown Davis. And downtown Davis is right across from campus. That's what I love about being on our campus. It's really a cool college town. And we're rated one of the best college towns in the country. As you can see here from this map, the proximity from downtown Davis, you cross the street and you walk right into downtown Davis. You don't have to walk far. You literally cross the street and you're in downtown Davis. You walk a couple very short blocks, you get to Central Park. And then Central Park is a place where we have a farmer's market. We have all kinds of cool stuff to happen in the summer. On the weekends, we have farmer market twice a week. And right at that corner on 3rd and C Street, we have a place called Burgers and, not Burgers and Beer, we call it Burgers and Brew. And you're gonna be able to see a picture of that in a minute. In this downtown, it's about 6 blocks by probably 5 blocks. You're gonna find 3 movie theaters, all walking distance from campus. You're gonna find all kinds of food to eat, Chinese food, Japanese food, Korean food, Italian food. We have 1 steakhouse. only one really fancy restaurant in our campus. We have all kinds of sushi places to go eat. We have about 6 or 7 taquerias. The bad part, they're not all that good. They're not as good as the taquerias back in the valley. We don't have a place that you can really get some great tacos. But when you come, let me know. I'll recommend a couple of them. But be prepared. It's not going to be the great tacos and burritos like you have down in the valley. Still looking for a place that can give me a good aguachile over here. But we do have a couple Mexican restaurants, but very different than being in the valley. A great place to go. The reason I love being downtown Davis, you can go get a great Chinese meal for about $7, maybe 6. Why? Because everything around downtown Davis has to revolve around a student budget. They're going to go broke. So a great place to eat. We have so many pizza joints. There's almost a pizza joints on every single block. Think about it. Pizza, place to hang out, movie theaters, and on the weekend, about 6 of these restaurants turn into nightclubs. So once you turn 21, you can come and hang out here. If you really want to get into the nightlife, you can go to Sacramento, 20 minutes away. But you can actually chill out and have a great time in downtown Davis without even leaving and walking back to your dorm. Here's a picture of downtown. How big is downtown? It's about twice as big as El Centro, twice as big as Calexico, 3 times as big as Imperial, probably about 10 times as big as Hopeville, 20 times as big as Calapat, 68,000 people, half of them are students. And so it's a really great place to go. So you've probably all been to downtown Calexico, you've been to downtown El Centro. So think of that, and it's nothing like that at all, man. It's a really place that has a lot of vibrancy, a lot of place to go. Nothing, no disrespect to Calexico or to El Centro, but I've been downtown El Centro, not a whole lot happening down there compared to what you're going to see here in the next few pictures. Students hanging out, a lot of students ride bikes. It's a very bike-friendly city. Students hanging out, eating outside. Here is Burgers and Brew compared to your burgers and beer. I told you I'd show you a picture of that on the right-hand side. On the left-hand side is one of our pizza places, Blaze Pizza. On the bottom is another coffee shop. And on the very, very bottom on the left-hand side is a picture of one of our movie theaters. So you can actually see that we have everything going on downtown in a few short blocks. It's a beautiful place to come and hang out. This is our old city hall. It's been converted into a restaurant, outdoor dining, indoor dining, Thursday and Friday and Saturday nights. Students come and hang out, dancing, great time. I've been there, check them out for research purposes only, but actually went down there and have a good time checking out students. As you can see here some of our students hanging out, celebrating a birthday downtown. Transportation, the university, we have our own bus company. So if you come to UC Davis, guess what? You will never, ever, ever, ever pay to ride a bus. Anywhere you want to go around through Davis, you'll be able to ride it for free. You're going to own it. It's owned by the students. So if you look really closely at this picture of this bus, it says ASUCD, Associated Students, University of California, Davis. Students own the bus company. One of the best jobs you can get, you can become one of these bus drivers. Only students can drive these buses. They pay about $16.50 an hour. 10 hours a week, make $165. You work about 10 hours a week for a month, you're gonna make about $340. So not too bad. No, make about $600. You work 15 hours a week, you can actually make enough money driving this bus, driving students around to pay for your rent. But you will never pay to be able to ride the bus. This is one of our bus central locations. And students love UC Davis. You ask any other student that goes on campus, they're gonna tell you they like their campus. You ask an Aggie, they're gonna tell you they love their campus. Great place. Here's also another one of our buses. On the bottom is our train station. Train station is right in downtown Davis. You can walk to it. I live about an hour from campus, and usually I take the train when I can up to campus. You can take that train from campus to Sacramento, Old Town Sacramento. You can take it to Oakland. You can take it all over the Bay Area. You can take it to Oakland, then get on the BART. The BART is our metro system that'll take you over to San Francisco. Really easy way for you to get around. And so the train costs a little bit of money, but it's not very expensive. So it's an Amtrak station, easy way to get around. Great opportunity for you. You don't even need a car if you come here. Now, once you get to campus, we want to make sure that you have a place that you can call home. And we have all kinds of different communities. I'm going to show you some of those pictures. The most important thing for us to do is when you get to the university is a place you can go and hang out. And we have all kinds of different places. Our most popular places right now, since it's such a diverse campus, are all of these that you see here in this picture. Everything from a women's center, a veterans center, a center for student involvement, an EOPS center, the Guardian Center, which is our students so that are foster students. We have a Native American center, a cross-cultural center, a student community center. But what I'm the most proudest of is we have an AB 540 undocumented student center. And we are one of the first campuses to really go all out and develop our own center right in the center of campus for undocumented students. And we actually have free law support for all of our undocumented students. And we also run the legal services for undocumented students that attend other UC campuses. What do these centers look like? You're going to be able to see them here. This is our Chicano Latino Academic Student Success Center. On the bottom is my colega, one of our advisors there, actually helping the student with their class scheduling. You can go there and hang out and study. They have a hammock if you want to take a nap. There's places to study, refrigerator, leave your food. Dia de los Muertos are going to put up an altar, a place you can come and hang out and chill and study, stay late. We have guest lectures. And every September or October at this center, I host a welcome for all the Imperial Valley students. And I bring in all the freshmen to meet with the sophomores, juniors, and seniors. And we spend a couple hours breaking bread. We actually break pizza. We have pizza and we get to hang out. And then our sophomores, juniors, and seniors provide some advice to the freshmen from the Valley and giving you advice on what the freshman year would look like. So a place to go. We also have an African Diaspora Student Success Center, very similar. You can go hang out, spend the day. What you don't want to do is you don't want to live in the dorms. You don't want to live in the library all day. You need a place to go and chill and hang out and be with your friends and meet them there for lunch or to study or to get academic support or tutoring. We also have a Native American Center. So you can see here, it's a really great place, lots of smiles. We want a place for you to be able to hang out and call home while you're here. Because whatever university you got to go to, you have to feel that you're at home. Okay, it's not about commuting. You have to find that familia. You have to find people that are going to support you. So when you decide about what college you're going to go to and you're going to have hopefully a lot of offers, make sure you have somebody that's going to really say, you know what, we're going to be here to help you. And ask them, what do you have in place to help me graduate? What do you have in place that's going to make sure that when I go there, I can go hang out with people that look like me? You know, we have all kinds of different centers. We have a reentry center for our older students, an LGBTQ center. We have a women's center. We have all these different centers for different ethnic centers. We have, you name it, we have them. We have all these different international communities. We have a beautiful brand new international center. So everything from our Arab Cultural Student Association, Asian American, Chinese American, Italian, Indonesian, Filipino, Iranian, Japanese, Korean, Muslim, South Asian, Turkish. These are just the name of a few of them. You'll be able to find your community where you can come and hang out and enjoy being part of a college campus. Because once you get here, you're only going to be in class 12 hours a week. Think about that. Right now, you guys are in class from 8 in the morning till 3 o'clock. And then you're doing all kinds of extracurricular, this and that. When you get to campus, you're only going to be in classes, some days not in class at all. And you need to find a place to go and hang out and do some cool stuff as well. So now let's talk a little bit about our majors. We have over 100 majors. This is what you really need to feel, that place that you can call home to help you academically. We actually have 4 different colleges. We have the College of Agriculture and Environmental Science, where we have our animal science, what I talked about briefly. We have the College of Engineering, which is our smallest college, the most competitive one to get into. We have the College of Biological Science, where most of our pre-meds, pre-health, pre-nursing students will enroll. Our most popular major is neurology, physiology, and behavior. But most of our students are actually in letters and science. Like I mentioned, our most popular majors are psychology, sociology, and economics. And a little bit about our students. We have a farm on campus. So if you want to go into any kind of environmental science, if you want to work in farms, some of you might be connected to agriculture in the Valley and want to continue that. Great place to come to become an expert, go back in the Valley as an expert in agriculture. Biological sciences, we're going to be able to do some cool stuff. We have a lot of pre-med groups. We have a lot of pre-science groups. And so you're going to be able to do some labs. You're going to be able to do some research. 85% of our students are going to do research or an internship. So think about it. Why do you want to do that? I don't want you to graduate from UC Davis or any college without something to put on your resume. If all you have is that you have a college degree, you're not going to be marketable out there. You're not going to be able to get a job. So if you come to Davis, we make sure that when you leave our campus, you have something on your resume. you've done research, you've done an internship, you work somewhere, we're going to make sure that you leave very well rounded. I mean, Davis is a great institution. College of Engineering, a lot of hands-on stuff. Our students are just extremely, they're scholars. They're doing some really cool stuff. So I would go to our website, look up the College of Engineering, and see all the projects and all the competitions that they're part of and how many things they've won. But if you want to go into engineering, highly recommend that you think about coming to UC Davis. And if you're considering whether or not you're competitive engineering, most of our engineers are going to be in the high school at 4.0 range or higher. If you want to go into engineering, you don't quite have those grades at the end, I'm going to present you my email. Email me and I'll give you some alternative majors that you can pursue in letters and science. It'll still help you move to similar kind of engineering careers. All right. So letters and science, like I said, everything that you wanted to study, highly encourage you to take something about your own personal history and background. If your parents are from Europe, take some classes on European history, whatever country they're from, learn more about it. If your parents are from Mexico, take classes in the Chicana and Chicano Studies program. Learn more about your background. If your parents are Native American, take classes in our Native American Center. If your parents are African American or your grandparents or whatever you want to learn about, you want to learn more about women, you know, I think whatever you want, it's really important that besides you being a bio major or an engineering major or whatever you might be, take classes to help you become a well-rounded person. If you're only going to take classes in your area, you're going to leave so much at the table that you could have gained from here at a university like UC Davis. I strongly encourage you to explore your own personal background and the history of your people and your family history. And if you know, you want to take a class in dance, you can take a class in dance, even if you're a bio major. You'll love it. Over 100 majors. You can go to ucdavis.edu majors and get a whole lot more information. But I'm really hoping you seriously consider, you can do just about everything. If you have a significant number of AP courses, many of you are going to be able to double major. A lot of our students will double major, major and a minor. You're going to be able to explore a variety of different things. Now, real quick, you can take your phone out. You can scan here. We're about halfway through the presentation right now. And so you can actually go to this link and you can sign up, get information, hold this link. And we're going to have the signups for you by the end of the week. If you want to sign up for our workshop that we're going to have, if you want to be an MD or if you want to be a lawyer, we're going to have a variety of career workshops for you. I just want to present this to you guys now. I think it's also my very last slide of the presentation. There's also my email address, bguerrero@ucdavis.edu. Any questions you have, email me. Just make sure you tell me you're from the Valley. You go up to the top of my list on my email. So make sure that you just put, hey, Blas, I'm from the Valley and I got this question for you. Or can you connect me with this person? Or if you apply later on and you got questions about your financial aid package, you got questions about anything, you can always email me. And you'll hear from the students. I'm very accessible for students to be able to help you out. We also have an internship and career center. Like I said earlier, the most important thing for us is that you get a job when you graduate. And so we have over 500 people, organizations that come to our campus looking for our students. You can see here, there's a student there on the right-hand side. He's got his resume. That gentleman is representing this organization. And you're going to bring your resume and try to get a job, try to get an internship. And you just start thinking about that your freshman year. What you see in the background is our pavilion. That's our basketball arena. We use the entire huge basketball arena for our big career day. And we'll be able to hook you up with an internship. We'll be able to help you get a job, help you prepare your resume. Whatever you need, we're going to be able to help you do it here on this campus. Just wanted to show you that. Our job is not done until you graduate and you get a job. Also encourage you to think about studying abroad. You can go just about anywhere in the world. The most popular destination right now, before the COVID, was actually Spain, Barcelona, Spain. Why? Because it's the #1 party city in Europe. We also have a lot of students going to Oaxaca and Guadalajara. So if you want to go to Mexico, Central America, South America, Asia, Russia, China, wherever you want to go, strongly encourage you to do that. We also have a program. You can go to Washington, D.C. It's called UCDC. And we actually have an apartment building that is 8 blocks from the White House. So we'll hook you up with an internship at the Capitol, somewhere working with a senator, with the congressman, or working in one of the community-based organizations in DC, and you'll stay at the University of California apartment building. You and 3 other students will have your own building, your own apartment, all owned by the university. We're going to take care of you. It's called UCDC. Campus life. We have over 800 organizations. Think about it, over 800. We have about 6 pre-med organizations. We have pre-law organizations. You name it, from a chess club to a Quidditch club to all kinds of different things. Sports, everything you can imagine, over 800 clubs. And you can see here some of our students hanging out, doing some things. Real quickly, we have an 100-acre arboretum that surrounds the campus. It looks just like the valley, huh? Doesn't it look just like the valley? I think that picture there on the left-hand side, man, it looks just like Calipat. Sorry, Caitlin. You'll know why in a minute when I introduce Caitlin. I don't think there's this many trees in the entire Imperial County put together. There's a walk around campus. You come here, you're gonna love it. It's absolutely gorgeous. When it gets hot, you can go here to the Arboretum and hang out. You can ride your bike, a great place to go. I think you'll really enjoy it. We have over 100 miles of bikes. Everybody rides a bike. Bring a bike. It's completely flat, just like in the valley. You can ride the bike all the way around, and everything is about bicycles. Athletics, we're Division I. As you can see scrolling up, all the different sports: baseball, basketball, cross country, field hockey, football, golf, gymnastics, lacrosse, soccer, softball, swimming, diving, tennis, track, indoor, outdoor, volleyball, and water polo. And we just added a women's equestrian center and a women's beach volleyball. This young lady is on this picture because she took us to she won our conference for us a couple years back. And our men also won in 2017 and actually played in the NCAA tournament. We have some great sports. We did extremely well 2 years ago in football, and we hope we're back again. And football season is about to start up. We'll see how that goes with COVID, but when you get here in the fall, hopefully everything will be back to normal. You'll be able to hang out on a Saturday afternoon and come out to one of our football games. We also have a state-of-the-art activities and recreation center. This is a beautiful place. It's bigger than any 24-hour fitness. How much do you pay to use it? Absolutely nothing, completely free. You come in here and work out, get your workout in. If you want to take a class, a yoga class or self-defense class, you might pay 20, 25 bucks to take it. But getting into the gym is completely free. Pick up basketball games. See those 2 guys on the right-hand side? And right above them, looks like there's a little wall up on top on the 2nd level. That's actually an indoor track where you can actually go run a 1/4 mile. If it's too hot outside, if it's raining outside, or you don't feel like being out, you want to run indoors, you can run indoors. You don't even have to go out. We have a games area. I said this is right below the MU. Bowling alley, pool, come hang out with your friends. Really inexpensive. You don't even have to leave campus. This is in the center of campus. Our own bowling alley, our own billiards, and a whole area with a bunch of TVs set up for games. Whatever you want to play, NBA, FIFA, you can go in there and hang out with your friends and compete and have a great time. We have our residence halls, what our dorms look like. We got great food. We'll guarantee you the freshman 15. That means you're going to put on 15 pounds because of our food, because it's all you can eat all day long. Food is fantastic. Most of our dorms are brand new. Our older ones have been regutted and renovated. So when you come here, you're going to have a beautiful place to stay in. And so the dorms are really a nice spot, but the food is fantastic. Food is incredible. And I'm hoping that you guys come up to campus and I can share that experience with you. If not, I will definitely share that experience when you guys get here in the fall. A little bit more about, we have a student wellness center. So if you get sick, we have our own clinic, our own kind of mini hospital right on campus. It's right across from the ARC. So you don't have to worry about it. When you come to Davis, we're going to definitely take care of you in a lot more ways than one. We hope that you make UC Davis your home. This is what our campus looks like. And this is a great view of one kind of the center of campus. As you can tell, it's gorgeous. Now what I want to do is invite 2 of our students to come on for a quick minute. I'm going to give them a couple minutes to introduce themselves. I'm hoping they're on. And then I'll come back and we'll talk a little bit about a student profile. Caitlin, you want to go first?
Sure. Hi. Hi, everyone. My name is Caitlin. I'm a 3rd-year human development major in the College of Ag, and I graduated in 2018 from Calipat. So if there's any Hornets attending, I'm with you. I'm an alumni. So yeah, I'll hand it over to Alyssa to introduce herself.
Hi guys. I go to UC Davis. I'm a third year. My name's Alyssa Bravo, and my major is nutrition biology. And I went to Brawley Union High School. So if there's any Wildcats here, hi.
Lisa, why did you choose coming to UC Davis? And the same question for Caitlin.
Um, I was really looking at like all the majors. You guys have like UC Davis just had a ton of majors, kind of like what Bloss said about like 100 plus majors. And I was looking at nutrition biology for a while, and I saw that only a few schools had that. So UC Davis had it, and I was like, oh, that's awesome. And I really like the environment. I went to visit during Aggie senior weekend, I think. But yeah, it was like a really great opportunity, and I just loved the environment. It's so green, and the valley is kind of just like, I love the valley, but here it's like very green and like pretty, and like the Arboretum is super nice, and I just really liked the environment and the people here. So I'll pass it off to Caitlin.
Yeah, so kind of the same as Alyssa. My major is not that common. So again, it's human development. And not a lot of schools had it. UC Davis did. And at the time, I was really looking for space. So I knew that in the valley, it tends to kind of feel like a bubble sometimes, like because you're just living within these like same cities. And so I kind of wanted some space and to kind of do my own thing. And I felt like Davis was the place for it. I actually took like a 1 day trip. And as soon as I stepped foot on campus, I was like, okay, forget the other schools that I'm looking at. Like this is the one that I want because it just felt like you had room to grow, other than how far you've already come in the valley. So that's why I chose Davis because of the distance, which later came, with its own challenges, but it's totally worth it.
All right, awesome. I wanted to make sure that you could see some students from the Valley that are just like you. And if you have any questions, you can email me. I can connect you with them, and we can do a small little Zoom meeting as well. And so, as I know right now, we're kind of pressed for time, but I really there's a whole lot of students. There's 100 students from the Valley, and these are two, and they're lucky because they're getting paid to be here. This is their job. So when you get here, some of you can actually apply because they're going to be graduating pretty soon. And by the time you're a sophomore or junior, they will probably be gone. You can take their job and you can sit on with me and help me recruit some more students to come from the Valley. And so thank you very much. Appreciate it. And I met them when they were juniors in high school. And lo and behold, now I think they're both juniors here at UC Davis. Pretty exciting. A little bit more about our campus. And see if I can get this thing to work again. So about your personal insight questions, make sure that you take care of those very, 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 very well and take them very, very seriously. The reason is why, because now there's going to be less factors for us to look at. We're not going to be looking at test scores. I'm going to go review that in a minute. So we're not going to look at SAT or ACT scores. So for us, it's going to be really important for me that you do a really good job on your personal insight questions. Because when somebody's going to evaluate them, they're going to be looking at how well you've done within the context of those questions. And for me, after everything has been reviewed, I go back and look at every high school from the Valley and make sure that there was an appropriate review of the students. And what only I'm going to be able to use to leverage if I'm going to support one of you to try to get you guys in that were on the wait list and move you to the admit list, or if you were on a denial list to move you to the wait list, is going to be your personal insight questions this year. So take them very, very, very seriously. Do not delay working on those, and spend some time with your counselors, spend some time with your teachers and with your peers doing those. Um, Here's the average GPA of students that are coming in. I'm not sure what it's going to be this year. Last year's profile, if you're in about a 3.7, 3.8 range, that makes you very, very competitive coming to UC Davis from the Valley. You're going to see all these different profiles of students. Keep in mind that that's going to be the profile for students from the entire state of California. And we're going to be looking at how well you've done within the context of your school. So if you're at San Pasqual Valley High School, that's very, very different than Calexico. San Pasqual Valley High School does not have a whole significant number of AP courses. Some years they don't have any AP courses. So a student from San Pasqual High School is not going to be expected to take a whole lot. Other schools like Calexico High School might have a lot of AP courses. So you're going to be looking at within the context of your school. So just worry about how well you're doing compared to your peers. And so as you can see on the bottom, I took out SAT, ACT scores. They're completely irrelevant. And so the grades are one thing, but it's your whole package that's going to be really important to us. These are the 14 things that we're going to be looking at. Overall, the number one thing now is going to be your GPA. Number two is the courses that you completed. And so on the courses you're going to take as a senior. So do not change your course schedule. If you do whatever class you put on the application, make sure you stick with those. We're also going to be looking at the number of honors classes and AP courses you've taken. The more you've taken, the better that likelihood of you getting in, the more competitive you're going to be. And number 6 is really important, the quality of your senior year. So if you're doing well and you're in a really competitive schedule this year, I commend you. That's going to be really good. It's going to make you more competitive. Don't bail out. You know, whatever you need to do, if you're in that class, AP or honors classes, stay with it, do as well as you can. If you need to change and you're in an AP course, you're going to move to an honors, or you're in an honors class and you need to get out for whatever reason, just make sure that you contact us in every single university and let them know, hey, I was in an honors class, I put it on my application, I'm no longer in that class, and make that move. For the most part, we're not going to penalize you, but the decision on you being admitted could have been made on you being in those courses. And you don't want to send in your transcripts in July with something different. So I'll give you a little profile of the student. So here's a student that had about a 3.8 in high school, that took his A through G courses, and the test scores on the bottom now have become irrelevant. This student, as you can tell, you really can't see him. You can't see all, you know, his name was Diego. And there'll be tens of thousands of students that look like Diego that'll be applying to the University of California, Davis. He has not separated himself from anybody. So we need more information. That's your PIQ. He tells us he was a musician. He puts that on his extracurricular activities, that he was an athlete, that he was a tutor, and he was enrolled in honors and AP courses. What he's really got extra points for right now is honors and AP. I'm not sure how good of an athlete was he. Was he really good? Did he just play soccer with his friends on the weekend? A musician, did he play a guitar and barely was learning how to play it? Or was he an accomplished musician? Was he in the band? Did he have his own band? You know, what kind of musician was he? So just giving us that one little label and extracurricular activities or other things that you do is not going to suffice. You got to give us more information. And part of that could come through your PIQs. Now, this Diego's becoming a little bit clearer. He says he did a community service he for an art walk, that he worked after school. How many hours did he work? 2 hours after school, once a month, every day after school? He says he played soccer. Was he any good? He said he was in a club in high school called Puente. He did a summer internship and he was in the school orchestra. You know how many, some schools have 200 kids in their orchestra? Are you the best player on there? So again, if you're just going to list those things, it's not going to help you. You got to give a little bit more. So take your application very, very seriously and give as much information as you can, but we can really make a good decision on you. Now look how clear Diego looks. Was he a musician? He was first chair violin, and he volunteered at his church and played at his church as well. That means he's the best violin player at his school. Wow. He did a 6-week internship in a marketing firm. So that means he's got a good experience. He's only in high school. He says he was the vice president of his school. That's very, very impressive. Was he any good as an athlete? Look on the bottom. He was the MVP. Was his team any good? They were division champions. And then he was also took first place in a photography competition. Did he volunteer? He volunteered 400 hours during his high school time, and he raised $25,000. Look how clear he looks now. The picture of him plus everything that he's added to this. This makes him a complete package. You put that with a 3.8 GPA, he's going to get in. But here's the thing, that not everybody is going to have the time to be in the band, and not everybody's athletic, and not everybody's going to be a leader in high school, and not everybody's going to have the connection to be able to do all this artwork. This Diego, to me, is just as important. So take a look at him. What has he done? What did he do? He taught Bible study and religious ed. He wasn't an athlete. He worked 20 hours a week at Safeway. Wow, okay. He only did 100 hours of community service, not 400. And we expect you to do about 2 hours a week, about 100 per year, but he didn't do that. All he could raise was $2,000. He was a mentor. He put in his personal statement that he mentored freshmen, and he would help the freshmen from his little community and where he grew up and help them through the process of freshman, kind of like a crew program, but on his own. What did he do after school? He was responsible for his siblings. He had to go pick up his sister after school. And he was a translator for the grandparents at the doctor's office because his mom couldn't go. So he had to take care of all the medical needs for the family as well, because he was the only one that was bilingual, that was almost an adult. Was he the president of his school? Nope. A little club called Puente, but he was the president of a club. What does that show? It shows leadership. And you could work out where that leadership is just as important as the leadership for the entire school. So this gentleman right here, superstar, by all means, accomplished everything. He had money to buy an expensive camera, had time to be in the band, had a connection, I'm thinking, to do 400 hours of community service. Maybe his parents were also involved in that. I got to take that into account. He was also great soccer guy, athletic. But this gentleman right here is just as important. So for all the young ladies and the men out there, you don't have to be the star athlete. You don't have to be the student body president. You don't have to raise tens of thousands of dollars. But you just need to be able to articulate who you are and everything that you've done during your high school years. Really important. And it's got to go beyond just the list of extracurricular activities and community service. How do you integrate that into it? And if you're taking care of a younger siblings, you can put that in there as community service or extracurricular. Some of you might not be able to play sports because you're taking care of siblings. Some of you might be that translator for your parents, grandparents. Some of you might be at home taking care of all the bills because your parents can't do that. All those things are important, but guess what? If you don't tell me about it, and you don't tell the reader about it, nobody's going to know. So think about everything that you are, the entire package. And you need to think out of the basic box that many other recruiters are going to tell you about. Oh, you have to do this, you have to do that. You know what? This is just as impressive. These two gentlemen are just as impressive. And what they've done is just as impressive. And if I'm reading it, I'm going to give this guy extra points. Why? Because he's working 20 hours a week at Safeway. So I know he can't get the 4.0. It is impossible. And taking care of siblings and doing all these things. So that's why it's that balance. That's why sometimes a 4.0 will be denied and a 3.6 will be admitted. All these other things. Because we might have a 4.0 that has nothing, no leadership, has done nothing during this time period. So it's really important to think about that. Put all this information, make yourself a well-rounded person, whatever that is. It's up to you to be able to articulate that for that reader. They're not going to know you. But if you put it in writing, make sure that you everything about you from 9th grade through now. So what's your story? What have you done? You could be a dancer, a club leader, maybe you volunteered, maybe you were in a play, you were in a summer program, maybe you worked, you did poetry slam, you went to a leadership program, you're a dancer. Are you fluent? Are you bilingual? All those things are important. Your job is to make sure that you put those down and you share those with us. A little bit about the cost to come to our campus. Don't be afraid. Oh, this is for non-residents. You guys are all residents, so don't worry about that. I don't want to scare you. Put the wrong slide on there. A little bit about our financial aid. We have something called the Blue and Gold opportunity. If your parents make less than $80,000, $80,000 or less, we will pay for all of your fees and tuition. Okay, so think about that. If they're anything like I was dirt poor. My parents were farm workers. And it's the first time in my life that I was happy and my dad was making no money. Because when I went to college, man, my financial aid package was sweet. I had more money than he did. So if you've been in that situation similar to me, hey, you're going to be fine. And we have grants and money, even if your parents make up to $120,000, the middle class grant. And we also have merit-based scholarships for all you scholars out there that are 4.0 and above. So don't worry about the money now. Worry about getting in, and we'll talk about the financial aid piece later on. So as you guys know, the UC application is already live. It opened up on August 1st. It'll be due on November 30th. Try not to ruin your parents' Thanksgiving. Try to get those things done. The most important thing is get it done before Thanksgiving if you can. Do not forget, November 30th is the deadline. You must submit your application to UC. I'm hoping to send the letter out to you about March 15th. You'll get a letter out from the university if you've been admitted to Davis. congratulating you that you've been admitted to UC Davis. 2 days later, you will get an email from me inviting you to some sort of gathering, be it virtual or be it in person. For the last 6 years, I always have a dinner for all the admitted students at the Barbara Worth Country Club in Hopeville. And I'll then come and invite you to meet with all the other students that we admitted from the Valley to Davis. You can get to know each other, bring your parents. It'll be a bilingual presentation. I'll bring somebody from housing. I'll bring somebody from financial aid. I'll bring somebody from the different colleges. So keep your fingers crossed that by April, all this is settled down and I can come out to the Valley and be able to meet with you. If not, we'll do it virtually, provide you all the information you need. Then you need to make a decision on where you're going to go by May 1st. And then we'll connect you with all the other students that are here and provide you support. And the most important thing is if you have any questions whatsoever, financial aid, housing, I'm going to be your conduit. You can feel to email me. And you can email me. And if you want to talk to our students, I'll connect you with the student. But anything you need, we're going to be available to help you. We're not like the other campuses. You're going to have a person right here. You don't even have to call me Dr. Guerrero. Only Denise has to call me Dr. Guerrero. You can just call me Blas. And just say, Blas, man, I need some help with this. You tell me what other institutions can give you that kind of support. When Denise said, I truly love students from the Valley, it's been a personal objective of mine to get as many students from the Valley to college. And now at UC Davis, it's a great place to come. And I'll do whatever I can to help you. All the other campuses like you guys, but UC Davis loves you. Keep that in mind. And I will do anything I can to help you at any time. And if you decide you want to go somewhere else, you need to contact that other campus, call me and I'll connect you with somebody as well. Sincerely mean that. So here's our information about UC. So UC Davis, ucdavis.edu/apply. Get your application in by November 30th. And then I'm hoping that I can bring you guys up. If we're lucky, we're gonna have something called Aggie Senior Weekend. And I'll provide a bus that'll go to El Centro and be able to bring you guys on a bus to the airport. And I'll fly you from San Diego to Sacramento. Very unlikely that that's going to happen. So I'll be honest with you, right? Because I don't think that we're going to be in a situation because of the pandemic that we're all going to be able to move around freely that easily. So, but I'm hoping that at least I can get to the Valley and meet with everybody that's been admitted. So again, the QR code, if you want some more information, take a picture of this right here. My email's on there. And then when you'll get an email back, a bounce back from me telling you that I will get back to you as soon as I can. On the bottom of my email is my cell phone number. You can text me if you need me. If something urgent, you can call me. Okay, that's my cell phone. You tell me what other institutions give you their number to their own personal cell phone. Feel free to call me. All you gotta do is tell me that you're from the Valley. Tell me you're from San Diego. I don't know if I'll call you back. If you tell me you're from the Valley, you know I'll call you back. And then store this QR code. You can jump on our event. And then hopefully by Friday, we're gonna have the registration links live. For those of you that want to go into law, you'll be able to meet our Dean of the Law School, Kevin Johnson, who's going to be doing a presentation for us on November 4th about pursuing law school. And then we're going to do one on October 28th, I believe, for our folks that want to go into medicine, health, nursing. And we'll have some physicians and some nurses to talk to you about that. So we're going to do all kinds of stuff in October. There's other events as well. If you want to jump on any of those other events, if you're a MESA student, we're going to have a special event for MESA students. If you're an Upper Bound student, we're going to have a special event for Upper Bounders. If you're an EAOP student, we're going to have another event for EAOP students. So feel free to jump if you're a Puente student. It's another program that we're working with. I'm going to have a separate event for them as well. So if you go to scan this code and you'll be able to register for any of those events. And if you're not a Puente, Mesa, or EAOP student, but you want to go on to that webinar, I feel free, you'd be more than happy to join us. We'd love to have you. And so now, any questions? I'll turn it over to my colega, Dr. Evangelista.
Muy bien. Gracias, Dr. Guerrero. I think I'm going to go with the doctor as well. Boss, we'll say real quick, but not because we don't mean it extra. You've been a champion for Imperial Valley Youth, and we deeply appreciate it. But we have a lot of questions we want to get to you real quick. A couple ones that have come in is related to majors as it relates to your science and med school stuff. So quick question in general would be, what would be the best major to major in if a student's going in wants to be in your med school?
you know, the thing about it is it's the major that you love the most. The most important part is the grades you're going to get. The most popular majors are any major in the College of Biological Science. The most popular one is neurology, physiology, and behavior. But I only recommend that if you love biology, because that's going to be expected you do well. If you don't love biology, then I don't recommend that you go into being a biological science major. A very popular major right now is in the College of Agriculture called Human Development. And Caitlin's a human development major. It's for our pre-med students, pre-nursing students, folks that want to go into teaching. A very popular major also is psychology. And right now, our poster boy for the medical school is actually an undergraduate who majored in Spanish. And he wanted to major in Spanish. He's a white kid from Kansas that really wanted to work with farm workers, and he needed to master Spanish. So he actually went and learned Spanish, got a degree in Spanish, and then applied to medical school. So I would suggest is that you major in something you really have a passion for, that you really want to do. And then you're gonna have to take the pre-med classes, a year of chemistry, a year of biology, a year of physics, a year of organic chemistry, and a year of calculus. So it doesn't matter what major you are, you'll take those classes, and those are gonna be the ones that are gonna be really evaluated for when you apply to medical school.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Good stuff. More quick questions. You had a great series of slides that talked about, as a student, the things that you want to include in your application that makes you stand out. I think the student's name was Diego, was one of the examples. So one of the students just wanted to kind of ask a general question. Maybe they asked that question before that slide, or maybe they came on after that slide deck had gone through. But what are some of the things that you look for when admitting students?
One of the things that we look for, it's probably a variety of things. There isn't one thing in particular. The most important one is going to be their courses you've taken. And they're really in the order. How well you've done in AP. We're going to look at your courses, your sophomore and junior year are going to be critical. If you've had any issues in any of the classes that you maybe not did as well as you could, there's a special section with an additional academic information that you might want to tell the reader. So if you didn't do well academically in something, you might want to say, this semester I was sick, I was ill, I was dealing with X or Y, and you can articulate that. Because I mean, I'm not going to lie to the student. The most important thing is going to be the academics and how well you've done academically. First and foremost, if you don't have the grades, it's going to be really, really challenging to get in. The other part is that what I look for is begin to look at leadership. You begin to look at extra things, outside things that might have influenced the student, maybe that hindered their academic performance. And so if we had a particular family situation and the student could articulate that, there isn't anything in particular that said, you know what, you can be the star quarterback, you can be the student body president, and you might not get in, right? The academics are the most important. Personal insight questions. At this point as seniors, I can't tell you do X. You've already, everything you had, it's over with now, right? And now it's all important how you articulate that. And think about it. I mean, leadership is an important piece. Overcoming barriers is an important piece. But leadership doesn't have to be the traditional leadership about just student body president. It can come in a lot of different ways, but you have to be able to articulate that.
Great. And Blas, we had another question as it relates to transfer students. What are the requirements for transfer students? And did I hear you earlier talk briefly about transfer admission guarantees?
Yes, we have a transfer admissions guarantee program. We have it at 6 of the 9 UC campuses. And so there are going to be 60 units that you have to complete at the community college. And there's some transfer prep. So that'll vary depending on what classes you have to take. If you're in a bio or English or different pieces. And your first 30 units have to be transferable. And it has to be specific courses you're going to take there, and it depends on your major. But the most important markers are 3.2 GPA, 3.5 you want to go into engineering. And if you get a 3.2 as an undergraduate your freshman year, we will guarantee you admission. You can probably get in with a 2.8. A 2.8 makes you competitive, but you're not guaranteed. So if you went to IVC next year and you took your 30 transferable units and you took in your math and your English and you got a 3.2, When you start your sophomore year, you would actually sign a contract with us called the Transfer Admissions Guarantee. And we would verify that you've taken your 30 units, have a 3.2 GPA, send it back to you and say, if you complete your sophomore year with the 3.2, with your additional classes, you're guaranteed to get in. And then you apply. You're not going to apply until November. You're going to have a guarantee you're going to come to Davis before we even send out the formal admissions notices, as long as you complete your contract with us. It's a sweet deal. 3.2 GPA guarantees you admission, 3.5 with engineering.
Great. That's a great backup plan for a student who may, for whatever reason, not have gotten in on their initial attempt to UC Davis. IVC is right here local, $46 a unit, and it comes with the ability to have a guarantee admission into UC Davis. So that's great news for students who may not get in the first round. But for those students who do get in the first round and they're on campus next year, one quick question was, you mentioned a whole bunch of academic support programs that you have. UC Davis is a fairly prestigious university. So if I'm coming from a school down here in Imperial Valley, maybe I feel a little intimidated. What are the types of academic support that UC Davis has for students who are just starting out their college career next year?
Oh, that's a great question. We have all kinds of different opportunities for students to engage. One is an Aggie Connection. And what I would recommend is you sign up for an Aggie Connection. It would be you with a group of other students and a faculty member, or one of our senior staff members that have students that have similar interests. And you would meet once a week, a 1-unit course, but with no real stress level, just to be able to have a support group to work with. The other one is that we have our Academic Student Success Center, and we have tutors just about in every single subject you can take. We have study groups. The most important thing when you get to become an undergraduate is not to try to study by yourself. And so I would really recommend highly that you set up yourself with an organized study group where you can actually study with other students. Really, really important. Tutoring, one-on-one tutoring available, and it's even available online right now. Our students aren't here. Our Academic Success Center is still rolling. They're packed. Sign up for a study group, meet with other people. And the most importantly, go see your teacher during office hours. There's so much support. If we're going to admit you to Davis, I know you can make it, and I know you can graduate. Is it easy? Nope. Everybody have a degree. It's how much time you put into it, and then getting the support service to help you to make it easier.
All right. Thanks, Blas. And before I turn it over to Denise, I just want to shout out to our great student, Alyssa Bravo. She is the poster child for one of the programs that we have here in Imperial County. So Alyssa, we knew you'd go on to great and awesome things at UC Davis, and it's good to see that you're doing just that. Keep up the good work. Denise.
Thank you, Todd, and thank you, Dr. Blas Guerrero. I don't usually call you doctor, because we're friends, but you know, it's Higher Ed Week. So
I have to throw it out there.
We can't thank you enough. I mean, for everyone on the call on today's session, we can't say enough good things about Blas Guerrero and his commitment to Imperial County. So thanks as always, my friend, for joining us, for providing us such great information and level of support to the students and counselors and administrators and all the other folks here in Imperial County. We truly appreciate you, and we'll look forward to seeing you once, you know, you can get back to the Valley.
And I'm looking forward to hearing all the students. You have my email sit on the screen, I think.
Yes,
So
it's
write
still
that
there.
down. Any questions, throw it on there, and then you'll get an automated response from me with my cell phone on there as well. And I mean, Denise, you did a great job bringing everybody together, and it's awesome for the students. Guys, you don't know what kind of support all the students in the Valley have from the Imperial Valley Office of Education. Denise doing a great job. And I hope that a lot of you come to Davis. Our goal is get at least 25 freshmen and another half dozen from Imperial Valley College here in the fall. So great. It was great. I appreciate all the students being on here with us. I wish I could see you, but I can't. So we're good. You guys can see what I look like on the weekends. That's what I put on when I go hang out on campus.
Awesome. Well, thanks again, Blas students. When he says email him or call him, he means it. So if you have any questions, this is a consideration for you. If you're a junior or sophomore or freshman, I'm sure he still wants to hear from you and start being able to provide you that information. So please don't hesitate to reach out, students and families. And thanks again, Blas, and hopefully we'll see you soon.